habari, salam, bonjour, and welcome to the Africa Power Hour. I'm your host, Nadia Abdallah, an impact-driven leader, a Pan-African, and a mental health advocate. The Africa Power Hour is a Pan-African visual storytelling network that brings together Africans from across the continent. Now, the main aim for this is to bring out stories that create the Africa we want. Now, on today's episode, I'm very excited to have two amazing, fantastic ladies who are elite in the way they speak, in the way they walk, and more so in the way they do their events. This is Christine and Sally. Now, I don't want to spoil your excitement by telling you who they are, so I'm going to let them tell you who they are, what they're about, and what is that one thing that excites them. So, Christine and Sally, welcome.
Thank you, Nadia.
Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Sasa nani ataanza? Who will start introducing themselves?
I'll start.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sally Mosaru. I am a marketer by profession. I run and own a digital marketing agency where we offer digital marketing solutions to corporates. And for today's purposes, I am also the co-founder of an amazing community, Elite Women Community. Thank you, and lovely to be here.
Lovely.
Well, it's me. Hi everyone, my name is Christine Muthoni. I am the co-founder of Elite Women, and besides that, I'm also the director of Alpha Car Giants, where we buy and equip you with your dream car. So I'm wearing the hat of Elite Women today, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, I'm happy to have you ladies here, and you guys look amazing.
You too.
Smell amazing. And y'all are just giving elite. You're just giving. So I want to start by asking the vision behind Elite Women. Who is going to take us through that? Just what is Elite Women? Where was it founded, and why is it important for it to exist?
Oh wow, that's very interesting. I'll just start and Sally can add more to this. So Elite Women was started in my office. This amazing lady came to visit me, and we sat and decided, even before we decided, I had the feeling and the need to have a community. Personally, as an individual, wanted to be with people and women who are like-minded, women who are driven, and women who want to have a community that can help them grow and elevate. So when she came to my office and we sat down and literally took notes and stated when we are going to have our first event, what we want for our first event, the name Elite Women, how it came about, and that was mid last year, 2023.
Yes.
Actually about May. And we had decided to set up the first event by 1st of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah. So just to add to what Christine has said, it obviously came from a self need to be in a space where you have women who feel like they're in the phase, it's like a pebble in the shoe. Like you just feel like you need to elevate, you need to move, there's some skin you need to shade. And that is how I ended up in her office, not knowing why I was going to her office, but I was like, we need to do something. We need to be in a space where women empower each other. We can make meaningful relations out of, because probably our current circles were not doing that for us. And yeah, that's how Elite Women came about. And we started out with a very small community, intimate friends that we brought together, shared their own personal experience actually during her birthday. And from there we thought this could be bigger, this could be more. And that's how we came about the first event. We're both marketers, and we thought we could use our skills and professional backgrounds to probably bring together people. That's how we brought about our pages, online pages, and got the community together. And our first event actually got 65 paying attendees. I usually like insisting that people pay to come to an event that we organized. And maybe we'll speak more what our events are about, but that's how Elite Women
came about.
Nice. And before we get deeper into it, what has Elite Women done for you guys individually?
Oh, wow. That's a very, very good question. First of all, the need to get a community or to have a community. We have a community, guys. Like, it's so magical how one day you decide you want to do something and you meet the like-minded women that you wanted who felt the same way and just collaborated and partnered and even sat with us. And so much so where we had women who even offered their own money to help us start up. So it's incredible. We've gotten the sense of community, the sense of growth, the sense of elevation and partnership and collaboration.
True. For me, and I know whoever is watching this and knows me will know this is a fact.
Yeah.
It has for sure brought me out of my shell.
Okay.
The confidence that elite women as a community has grown in me has been remarkable. The spaces that we have walked in are unimaginable. Never thought that would be in such spaces. Even being in the Africa Power Hour, this is
My goodness. Even meeting you.
this is a highlight for us. So that is what this community has done for us. If you get to experience our events, I tend to moderate on these events. So being at the forefront of all this is also, it's a different feeling. The speakers that we bring on board, you get to network with so many people. So the networks has also opened for us. For me, it has brought me out in my shell. I used to be this corporate girly, and now I am a networking advocate, I could say.
And networking is the best thing I can imagine.
For sure.
Okay, so Sally, can you discuss with us the programs that focused on personal development when it comes to elite women? Because from what I'm hearing, it's developed you guys equally in your different ways, but on a personal level. So what are the programs that prompt that?
For us, I'll move away from programs because this is something that we are still working on. However, the events that we put together has been able to equip our audience with tools, knowledge, and just space for women to empower each other, to educate each other. So from our panel conversations, the women that we bring on board to tell us about their experiences, their professional or personal lives, and how they have grown to being the most influential people they are today. Their knowledge has equipped our audience with tools to become better and to do better with their lives. Because like we've said, whoever is coming to our community is intentional with growth. So we tend to provide those tools for them. So whatever take home they get from the event, whether it's a good friend you've just gotten, or it's a tool or a powerful influence that you've gotten from whoever is in our panel, that is what makes us sleep well at night, I guess.
And I know for a fact, and this goes to you, Christine, both of you are strong advocates for women leadership, I assume. Because I mean, first of all, you're in the automotive industry, you're in the digital marketing industry. I want you each to talk about that in the sense of how do you take leadership in that particular sector before I get into my next question.
Okay. For me, it's more of owning it and owning the space. I've really been in a journey where I've gotten tools and I've been equipped with experience that can help me stand firm in the automotive space. Proudly could say I'm among the few women in the automotive space, but also being there has its own challenges, and you have to be really firm and you have to stand your ground. You have to show our fellow men who are also in this space that it's possible. I do know a thing or two about cars, or even more than most of them do. So for me, even owning the space has helped me to be a better leader and to encourage and to even mentor more women into this space and make them understand these vehicles, these motor vehicles, these cars were not made for any other people. It's for us all, including us women, who can even go under the hood and get to understand the intricacies of every unit that we have. So even having a team that I can proudly lead and mentor as well into knowing that running a business is something that is possible in the aspect of being in the space where you have less of the female gender, and so anything is possible.
For me, I think I have picked people's brains ever since we got into this community, and I have learned from women who have gone before me, their challenges, how they've navigated them, things to look out for, and just advice on how to lead teams. Because from my corporate space, when I got into this community and also starting my own digital marketing firm, because it's something that is a passion that I have and knowledge that I also have, I had to learn from people who have been through that space and also learn how to treat people that I'm actually leading. So for me, it's been a learning phase, and of course putting it into practice, but mainly also for the reason why we also created this community is to learn from each other. So with every event, with every opportunity that we get to learn. So it's not just for people to come and get information from us, but it's also a space for our own sake we have created to learn from other people. So for me, it's been a continuous learning journey on how to become a better leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Christine, yes, elite women, bringing women together. You're having programs, there's partnerships and everything. And I'm going to get into a very nitty gritty, but what's that value addition that every woman that attends elite women goes out with?
There's so many, but the one that I could pick at the top of my head is collaboration and the aspect of networking with like-minded women. And I emphasize, I'd say this like a broken record, because when we even get feedback later on, we've had cases where women had or even started something together. We have those who feel like just because they came to that space, they were able to get or even partner with someone and start a brand and start, I would want to mention them, but I feel like I would want to keep it on the DL. But then again, they have started something that we've seen, we've experienced, and we are seeing them grow into mental health advocates. So that in its own, the collaboration and the partnership, and even getting to understand it's okay for women to work together and grow each other is the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, and Sally, based on what I've heard from the networking and everything, how do you pick the different themes or thematic areas that you ladies decide to execute or bring out when you're having your events?
Oh, wow. So I think if we are on our 6th edition, and with each theme there's been a whole different reason. For our inaugural event, for sure it was based on personal need, and at the time mental health had just hit the space, and I think it was more of a trend more than people understanding what it is, and even people appreciating what it is, and as women being vulnerable enough to seek mental health and such spaces. So that was the reason for our first theme. It was followed by now us understanding our own body, our own vitality. We curated an event which was very intimate, because just understanding a woman's body can be very personal. So we wanted something intimate. We had a picnic set up, we sat on the floor. So it was to let the women a bit loose and talk about, because we don't get to confidently talk about our own bodies and just to understand them. We go through so many things as women. So we figured, why not create a theme that is around that. Our third event, then we were culminating the year. So we wanted a vision board. Our last event in 2023 was vision boarding. So we wanted our women to plan ahead, to think ahead, and to have tools to get into the next year equipped. So that was the reason why we thought, because again, timing at the time was why we did the vision board.
Indeed.
Coming in the beginning of the year, we celebrated International Women's Day, and this was a theme set literally worldwide. It was inspiring inclusion, so that is what we took and ran with. And here we are on our 5th individual event. We say 6 because we had one partnered event which was still under vision board. So on our 5th event, we figured, again, people are not being authentic. People are not being themselves with this media space, with the social media influence all around with our younger generation who are following us. They need to see us being ourselves for us to be even inspire them. So we figured, why not talk about people being authentic and living their true lives and true selves.
And speaking of being authentic and everything, it entails breaking barriers. And so I know you women are women who break barriers. And so my question is, what are the biggest challenges women face in Kenya when it comes to achieving their goals? And how is Elite Women incorporating that to smoothen or ease the path? Christine.
Yeah, I'm trying to see from an individual level. I feel like even running Elite Women has not been easy.
That was a deep sigh. Like,
Yes. I mean, we go through so many challenges to make sure everything falls into place before we even host the next event or the other event. So for us, I could speak from an individual level. I had to show up in so many hats as a mother, as a wife, as a woman, as a sister, as a daughter, as a firstborn daughter. And that is a whole thing.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
As a community manager, as a boss, as a director. So like before any woman out there decides to leave their door or their house or anything that they have to even show up to the world, there's so much that they carry and they still have to keep moving and keep going. So it could be maybe the hats that you have to wear before you show up, everything that you go through before you even decide to keep running and show people, here I am. I am a mother, I am a wife, I'm a woman, I am this. So there's so many challenges. I cannot pinpoint on one, but based on what I've mentioned, trust me, even as a business person, I try to shine as much as I can. And this is not shining because people are shining a light on me, but to show the men in this space that it's possible for me to run this and to keep it growing and moving and elevating, because they expect it to go under, but then they see, oh no, she keeps moving. So there are challenges of being biased. Men are very biased towards women, and
it's a lot.
Could go on.
Okay.
So
having the same experiences as Christine, I'm a mom. As we speak today, I'm here, but my son is, unwell.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And you have to show up. You see, for us to be here, it's just an indication that yes, there could be a lot going on. But you need to show up for yourself. As women, we have not been cultured in a way that we need to show up for ourselves from our parents' generation. So it's us now breaking from that particular barrier. We've not been raised in those environments where we are allowed to show up for ourselves. So it's us to break those barriers today and also create a very good path for those who are coming after us. Other than family, as women, or it could be anybody, but women come from different backgrounds. So your background could be the reason probably you think or you assume you cannot be able to achieve a certain thing. So I think for us is to tell people that for us to get here today, for us to even be absurd enough to start our own community, it's not like it's something that we've been given on a silver platter or something that we've grown. So it's allowing yourself to make mistakes, to learn from them, pick yourself up and do it again, because you're responsible for how you show up for yourself. I think I heard somewhere, I saw somewhere that people would say, I read somewhere, but in real sense, you saw it on a TikTok. So I probably saw this on a TikTok. As a woman, probably in your 30s or in your mid 30s, you're not allowed to keep on saying, my parents did not give me this. You're responsible for your own future at this point. You in your 30s or late 20s, you're not responsible for that. So it gets to a point where if you want to get something, if you want to achieve something, it's up to you to just decide. And being a woman should not be the reason why you say I'll not be able to do it. You need to get up and do it, because women like you, Nadia, and what we're also trying to create as Elite Women is to create a space for women to occupy the spaces, become in the motor industry, tech industry, and lead these people.
Exactly.
It's a journey. And also to add on to what she said, the community has given us that purpose of letting women know it's okay. It's fine. Come, let's learn from each other. Let's grow. Because if you keep putting things under the rug, then we will never grow. We will never get to know it's okay to actually show up and say, today I am not showing up as anyone. Like on Saturday, I kept telling the guys I was with, I came here not as elite women, not as alpha cadets or whatever. I'm here to bring back my sanity and to let go of everything that I carry. So I had a wellness day where I just needed to be me.
That's nice.
And it takes a lot. I felt so guilty, but at the end of the day, I kept telling myself, you know what? No,
You need to.
let's do this. We need it.
Yeah. And speaking of, the challenges and things that you see, how has it been accessing resources and mentorship when it comes to organizing events or just fully like? Because I know a lot of women face that, when it comes to funding, partnership, resources, it's quite a challenge unless,
Personally, I think I'll just mention something before Christine does. I have been surprised because, like I've said, the spaces that we've been able to walk in, it's women who have gotten us into those spaces.
Yes.
So unlike what the norm is that women are usually against each other, I feel like we're in an era where women realize the power that they have and realize the power of women coming together is unmatched. So for me, my experience, yes, we've gotten no's here, but one thing we've learned with Christine, when you get a no, it's not personal.
it's not.
It's not personal. So we pick up and move. It's redirection for what we see.
It is actually redirection.
So, but the spaces that we've actually walked in, women have actually gotten us through those spaces. We also have a board of advisors who is, of course, women, and what they have done in, just the instrument they have been in bringing elite to where it is, it's been amazing. So their networks, they're people that they've gotten us to, to engage with. For me, that is a highlight that I think I would defend anywhere I go.
That's true. And to actually add on to that, every woman we've approached to help in maybe supporting the community, being in a space where they can also mentor other women. Like in the summit, we had about 5-6 mentors, and they were so willing to go over and beyond. Even the speakers, like they were there to speak, but they said, yeah, sure, I'll mentor, I'll do it. So
nice.
It's incredible to see that we have very many yeses against the no's. And the no's that we get is redirection, as you said, and also because the time is not yet.
And that's true. And I love one thing you guys said, which the no's are never personal. They're never personal. Sometimes it's like, oh wow, how could you? How dare you? And how does Elite Women ensure that empowerment fosters a lead when it comes to sustainability in the different things, whether it's programming, whether it's networking, whether it's creating a community? How do you guys ensure that? Yes, the events are there.
Yes.
But beyond that, how does Elite Women execute it?
That's a very good question, because I would love to say that we keep growing and learning, and as much as we are trying to bring the community together in a close-knit space like the WhatsApp groups that we have, we want to keep them in a space where they are able to access other things, of course, mentorship, how things like investments and whatnot, in collaboration with other parties or other partners. We are able to create spaces where we can let them know, okay, this is happening, you can come for it, or we have an investment partner who does webinars and they do training, so we allow them to be in spaces where they are able to access that, and that's by us going ahead and partnering with such. And also something that we have a cat in the bag, possibly we are going to share after this. So there's a lot in the works as we learn, because the key thing is this first year, and hopefully even our second year, will be a lot of learning and unlearning, especially so that we know how best to give value to our community.
I don't think I can add anything to what Christine has said, because it's everything. We do have partners who help us, because we're not proficient in all industries. So when it comes to investments, like land banking, we've partnered with industries who are proficient in that area, be it tech. I think we have also tried to put ourselves in tech spaces and see what can we learn, what can we offer our community.
Yes.
So we also don't get keep. So when we feel like there's an opportunity for our community to learn more than what we are offering, we do share with them and encourage them to actually put themselves out in these spaces. Yeah, and like Christine has said, there's something we probably share by the end of this episode, what we are planning, especially coming next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think it's important for, on a Pan-African scale, for women in Africa to work together, to trade together, to network together, but create a different storyline of what it truly means to be women who are empowered and support one another? And this anyone can answer, or both of you actually. I want to get your opinions.
Actually very important, because I feel for us to even expand as elite women, we do not have any business going to another country to do that. We just need to collaborate with other women in those countries to even expand and grow, so that we are able to give that value to other women in these countries. And it's incredible how we even get interest from women who are abroad. It could be actually South Africa. We have a very big a big supporter there who's made our journey easier in knowing and realizing what we need to do next and how we can grow elite women. And thanks to her, she broadened our minds and our vision became bigger. So even with the access that we keep trying to gain in other countries, we hope to be bigger and better by making sure that women understand this collaboration and partnership is good and is possible for us.
For sure. And just to add that as a culture, African culture is just beautiful. It's going to be so unfair for us to keep to ourselves and just say elite women is just for Kenya, it's just for maybe people in Nairobi. We are really advocating for an opportunity to just interact and learn from other cultures and other women, what struggles they go through. We assume we're probably the same, go through the same, but maybe in other African countries they go through different experiences, but we would probably be able to understand each other or help each other in one way or another just by coming together. So yeah, definitely we are for the idea of Pan-African women especially, empowering each other, learning from each other and coming together for the greater good.
And how important is mentorship when it comes to women's growth? And I don't mean only on a personal level, but financially, collaboratively, mental health. I was going to say mental healthly, but on a level of mental health. How important is mentorship? And have each of you ever, do you have a mentor?
Yes.
Or do you mentor other people?
Personally, I think both of us are a product of mentorship, for sure. I do have a mentor, and one thing I would also really go for is mentorship in community, like in not just individual, but it's very interesting to go through a mentorship journey when you are a number of you people. So then you get to learn about other people's journeys and probably get to avoid some mistakes that you're probably going to make. So you get to learn way in advance, and also to understand that you're not alone in so many things. So many times you get to sit down and think, I'm the only one who's going through this, but no. So I think just mentorship in community for me is something that I'd really advocate for, and for sure mentorship does help in a lot of growth. I think it saves you a lot of time, because when you make mistakes along the way, before you realize that it's okay to make a mistake, before you realize what to do when you've made this mistake, it costs you a lot of time. So right now I would really encourage those who are coming after us, my age mates. Mentorship does go a long way. It saves us a lot of time and worry.
I know.
Let me retaliate. Mentorship is very, very important. And I feel like for most of us to be where we are right now, it's because we've been mentored directly and indirectly. There are those people who we look up to who've mentored us without knowing. And because we felt whatever they're doing worked for them, will also work for us. And personally, I've had different mentors indirectly. And I'm looking forward to mentoring as well. So I'm putting myself in spaces where I'm able to mentor other young women. To be honest, I've actually been a mentor to a couple of women, and it's been journey for me to experience and get to see their growth and see where they've come. And then when people reach out to me and tell me, oh my goodness, because you said this, or you told me to do this, or you directed me in this way, I'm here where I am, and thank you. So mentorship is important.
Nice. And what's the target audience, especially in terms of age? Because we know it's women, elite women.
Yeah.
But what's the age demographic?
We always smile when we have this question because thing is, we set it as 28 to 40
to 45.
45. We realized there's a need for other young women who felt, well, I might be 20 or 22 or 23, but I'm ready to elevate. I'm ready to grow. So our youngest is currently about 23, thereabout, and our oldest is turning 70, if not wrong. Or she's about 69.
Okay.
So we have a certain age group that is women who are elevating but are in their 40s, 50s, we have 60s. And funny enough, the event that is, of course, by the time this have happened, you're going to experience a number of women who are in their 40s and 50s.
Nice.
And younger as well.
I think just to move away a bit from the age, because she's already talked about it, the demographic of the women that we typically attract or of course open our doors to are people who are in their middle management, going to upper, figuring out leadership, already in leadership positions, and don't have a network of women who are on the same level and don't know what to do with themselves. So we do welcome them in our community. And like she said, we do have the younger ladies who have probably realized themselves a bit too early and need mentorship. They need to be around women whom they would ideally see themselves as in the future. So yeah, we do open that space to them in the community.
And how do you ladies ground yourself?
Wow. That is a
I know, I'm just throwing. I'm just like, it is a girl chat, so I need to know because there's a lot going on. I see you guys giving a lot. You're giving a lot to elite women. And from someone who is, how do you say it, a survivor of giving a lot, or currently healing from that, sometimes we forget. We don't curb where we need to stop. And so sometimes grounding helps.
Yeah.
But how do you ground yourselves?
I'm learning how to ground myself by putting myself as Christine in spaces where she can give back to herself. So
Good.
I do time to time solo dates where I just go sit and call myself and tell myself tuko kwa mkutano. This is how it's gonna be. But anyways, I'm a golfer. I'm using that as a channel to pour back into myself, taking all these walks and as we chase this little white ball on the course. So that has been immense, has really changed my life. So golfing, solo dates, very important. Sometimes we think buying a good thing is giving back to yourself, but it's not. Sorry to burst
It's
your
just
bubbles.
solving that issue at that time. That itch just then.
Yes,
You know.
but the moment you find yourself alone in a space where you're able to think about you and not everything else, then that is the one thing that you need to find grounding and very important to have.
For me, is being as authentic as possible. No pun intended, but it's being as authentic as possible, remembering who I am. You know, not getting caught up in this illusion of what it is, what it's gonna be. It's all it's nice. We can get used to it, but it's just being myself, coming back and remembering again who Sally is. I have family, and for me, family is like the pinnacle of everything. From of course my parents to the family that I'm currently raising, you know, and for me that grounds me. Coming back home with my kid, my husband, for me that reminds me, okay, Sally, we're no longer elite, we're no longer Wasali. We are Sally who gets to be, you know, pinched by my son for no reason, but you for me that really helps me, you know, come back to who I really am. Also surrounding myself with people like, of course, Christine. I think my history or my journey of finding people who are for me, I don't know if that makes sense, has been a struggle. It goes all the way back. But I feel like right now I have gotten to a ground where, okay, I'm with people who get to remind me once in a while who I am, what I need to be, and being around the elite women circle. There's a community circle of elite women, and for me, I usually go back there. We empower each other in very funny ways.
Even prayer.
That's what I was
my
coming
goodness,
to.
we
Having
pray.
people to remind you that, tell me what you're going through. I want to pray for you. I've never had that. So being with such women around me, has really reminded me of who I am and where I need to stand as a woman.
Nice. So what does the future of elite women look like?
It's quite bright. Quite bright. We can officially say that we will be taking some time after this event to focus on growing our academy. We want to give back to the ladies by making sure we equip them with tools that can help them become high value women.
Yes.
So this will, of course, entail a couple of things that we ideally believe a high value woman should have. So it's bright.
Okay.
Quite bright.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Nothing more to add again. It is, it's more than bright. It's blinding at this point.
It's blinding. and I hope it keeps growing. So to the Pan-African audience that is listening, and I want you to speak directly to them, what are your key parting shots and advice for women? If any of you can start there.
If you live or if you don't live with anything, always remember nothing is impossible, and keep believing, because our motto is she believed she could and she did.
Yes. For me is to invite you all to join our journey as elite women, Pan-Africa as a whole. Please watch out for this space, watch out for elite women, join us as soon as you can. We have our website. Please visit our website. It's www.elitewomenke.com. We're also available on all social media platforms as Elite Women KE, sorry. And just watch out for us, support us when we come knocking. Please open the door for us, and we are really open to a lot of collaborations and looking forward to what the future holds.
So she believed she did and she could. I think that's the best way to end this conversation. It's the best way to motivate any Pan-African woman listening to this. It's about putting your best foot forward, and it's about believing in yourself, and in anything and everything that you do, it's about remembering that God has to be in the middle of it all.
Amen.
And so I hope you're going to pay keen attention to our conversation where we had Sally and Christine, from the co-founders of Elite Women Kenya, but it's also very Pan-African, and so you all better support. Thank you so much, ladies. I'm so inspired. I love your voice. I love your intentionality. I just love the way you're thinking. And to me, honestly, you guys, well, the short period you've known me, I am one woman who, I'm one young lady. I'm still like that. Young lady who always believes in supporting other women with the little that I can, with the little knowledge that I have, but also opening doors. So please keep the good work. The academy, keep it going. We need women to know how to be elite out here.
We learn together.
And thank you for just being so devoted to the cause. And
thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much, Nadia.
That's it from the African Power Hour. I'm your host, Nadia Abdallah. Till next time.